CES makes what they call solution-based accessories. And they're right. Everything from dog collars that glow in the dark, for example, to tactical flashlights. You've heard us talking about their products on the show before because they provide a lot of giveaways that we've shared with many of you, our audience. So we thought this is appropriate here to catch up with them at CES and then talk about more of their cool stuff they're showing here. The International Sales Manager for Latin America, and he doesn't even appear to be Latin, go figure, is for Nite Ize, Niteize. Now you remember us talking about Nite Ize, is Matt Ellsworth. Matt, welcome into Tomorrow. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me, Dave.
It's a pleasure. So how is it that you've got Latin America?
Well, so I lived in Chile in high school and
cool.
worked in Costa Rica after college and just kind of fell into the position.
And you speak the language, I'm guessing.
I try,
That usually helps for international sales.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Very cool. You guys, we talked about a plethora of products, and I'm not sure through one of your public relations folks or somebody that sent us a box full of goodies that we were all impressed with and gave them away over several weeks. And the audience was saying, how cool. I mean, there's neat things, but things that had to do with Nite Ize that appeared to be glow-in-the-dark sorts of things, which I guess is how you started, or flashlights?
Yeah, absolutely. So the owner of the company, Rick Case, 27 years ago, he founded the company with one invention. He made a headlamp, basically the first headlamp. He made a strap to hold his mini Maglite flashlight next to his head.
Cool.
He was, story goes, he was fishing at night, and he had his little flashlight in his mouth as he was tying a knot, but it fell in the water and broke. So he decided to fix that problem, and Nite Ize was born.
Awesome.
Yeah, so...
and that was just a simple strap to hold the light.
Yeah, exactly.
And from there, it's like, that we can do a lot more of these kinds of things that, as you say, solution-based accessories.
Yeah, exactly. So Rick solved that first problem with the one product 27 years ago, and today we have almost 700 different products to solve just about every problem in the daily life.
That's a lot of SKUs to keep track of in the retail
exactly
world, right?
A lot of SKUs, and like you said, in a lot of different channels. So we have everything from pet accessories to cell phone accessories to hardware and outdoor products, and then, as you mentioned, right into the tactical flashlight realm with our Innova line of flashlights.
And see, that got my attention as a former police officer. It's like tactical flashlights.
Oh, yeah.
You don't just hold a little something. You got to have something that, unfortunately, if need be, it's also a weapon.
Yeah.
You make sure that they're rugged and they do the job for you, and hang in there throughout your shift, whatever the case.
Yeah, totally.
So how do you determine of these 700 products, and we're going to show several of them here coming up, but believe me, he brought almost all of them. But of them, how do you decide what goes to market, what gets made, and where the needs are that you're fulfilling these niches?
Honestly, I have the easy job of selling the great stuff that we come out with.
You let others worry about coming up with it.
Yeah, we have a fantastic in-house design team. We have a team of engineers back in Boulder, Colorado that are constantly working on bringing out the next new things. So just last year, we launched over 100 new items. Here at CES, we have almost 50, with another 50 or so on the way coming in July. So we keep those guys busy, and then just let me do the easy stuff of selling it to customers.
And I'm guessing the stuff sells well because they fit niches for people all over the place, and say, I can't maybe use those 600 products, but boy, these 100 are going to really make my life easier.
Yeah, we like to say, when we're talking to customers, do you have an open sign on the door? Does it get dark where you live? If so, we have a product you could sell.
Touche. That's very good. Well, let's first of all, right out of the box, we got to talk about the best of CES 2016. Congrats for a very cool award-winning product right out of the box, the Gear Tie Cordable.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, so the Gear Tie has been around for a number of years now. It's a flexible steel and rubber tie. There's a steel wire on the inside and then rubber coating on the outside. And our process is really neat because we bond the rubber to that wire, so you can use it hundreds and hundreds of times for just about anything you could think of, from hanging up hoses and cables to tying products to the back of your roof rack or whatever. So tons of uses.
And look at this broadcast booth with a ton of wires.
Yeah,
the guys are always scrambling for cable ties that they then have to cut off because, you use a cable tie like that and it's history one time.
Yeah.
This is multiple uses to have this reusable twist tie, basically. Imagine a twist tie, and in, I'm assuming, very cool colors, including this day glow green.
Yep, all sorts of colors and sizes, too. From 3 inches, we have the 6-inch here, all the way up to 64 inches long. So tons of uses.
For big batch of cables.
Exactly. But the really interesting thing here, so this is the original gear tie. This year we came out with the cordable, and that's what actually won the best of CES from iPhone Life magazine. So the idea here is, and one of the reasons we won this award was just imagine the thousands and thousands of people going through CES.
Yep.
Every single one of them just has a jumble of cables and wires and chargers in the back of their bag or in their luggage or wherever. So the next evolution of the gear tie is that we add a little rubber loop right onto the end there. And so it just slips over the charger cable and permanently lives there.
Yeah.
And so that means that when you're packing up to go, you just wind your cable up, and then you have that flexible, reusable rubber tie to keep things nice and organized. And Dave, you should have seen it. We had a table set out in the front of our booth with 2 people working constantly the entire show, taking customers' charger cables, headphone cables, and wrapping them up. We estimate that we gave away over 4,000 samples of those.
Wow.
But we had crowds 4 and 5 people deep around the table the whole time. It
we
was
went
fantastic.
by one time and I saw people leaning over each other, and it was like, what's going on here?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's like, move along, no one will get hurt. You know, but folks were then saying, oh my gosh, I need that.
Yeah,
and it's
not
one of
just
those
I need
simple,
that, I need those. I need a bunch of those.
Exactly. One won't do because who has one cable? Nobody.
Exactly.
So, and that's very cool. So that in fact we're seeing some and how it simply goes right over like the head of a USB.
Yeah, and
cable.
they stretch quite a lot. The material that we use is pretty amazing. It's UV stabilized, so you can keep it in direct sunlight. It works in hot or cold. And like I said, you can use them hundreds and hundreds of times. So it stays right with the charger cable. Really easy to
no
use.
wonder something that simple
Yeah.
becomes a Best of CES award winner, because it's one of those, duh, we all need that help.
Yep, it's those products that you're like, man, I should have thought of that first.
Yeah, for sure. Now tell me about some of the other cool things that are getting a lot of attention.
So another one, and this actually won the iPhone Life magazine Best in Show Award last year at CES, but this is our Steely vent mount kit. So the Steely is a magnet that you stick on the back of the phone.
Okay.
It's a rare earth magnet, neodymium. And the nice thing about it is that it doesn't affect the phone, any phone, at all. So it doesn't harm that in any way. And it sticks on semi-permanently. So it's on there until you don't want it, and then you just floss it off and it won't leave a mark or anything.
Floss it off.
Yeah, that's
Go
the
figure.
best way.
I love it. And then at the other end, you simply, in this case, it's a little thing that's mounted to an air conditioning vent that you have in the front of every car.
Yeah, so the Steely ball part of it is a little clamp, and it just clamps right onto the vent in your car. Works for pretty much any vehicle on the market, or any car that has an air conditioning vent at least.
Yeah.
And then because of the shape of the Steely, it's a ball and socket design, so you can turn it in any orientation, you can move it all around, and then there's a nice silicone rubber stopper there to keep it steady as you're driving.
That's awesome. I mean, again, one of those simple kinds of things that your people thought of and created and solves problems for a lot of people, and it's on there nicely.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and tight. You can take corners and not lose your phone.
Absolutely.
Or bumps or otherwise.
I've used that on a motorcycle. We have people that mount them on ATVs and all sorts of things.
Geez.
And then there's a whole Steely ecosystem. So we have tabletop pedestals. We have cases that they incorporate the Steely right into that. And then there's all sorts of different configurations that you can buy.
Love it. And then when it's time to change your phone, you use a piece of floss and just pull off the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, again, it seems to be going back to your roots here when we talk about things like a power key, whether it's got a light attached or otherwise, but you've got some nice, very small external batteries to get yourself a little goose of power?
Actually, this one isn't a battery. This is a tiny little cable. And what you're seeing here is its protective anodized aluminum casing. So if you've ever been in a situation where you forget your charger cable at home or you just don't have it with you, I mean, cell phones nowadays are so ubiquitous, so important, that we always need to have that handy. So this is just kind of solving the problem of not having your phone charged and at hand. But you get that tiny little cable always protected by its housing, and then you can strap that on your keychain, put it on your luggage, and just always have it with you.
And in this case, it's a nice color, too. So, again, going back to, you might as well be stylish when you're dealing with accessories, too, right? To get something that you like.
We have an assortment of colors there, and then it also comes in Apple Lightning. That's Apple approved, so it'll sync and charge, and then a micro USB cable to go along with it.
And we're fast running out of time, but, I mean, financial tools even, a multi-tool wallet. I mean, there's just all sorts of, you wouldn't believe the kinds of things that we're finding that are available from NiteIze.com. It's NITEIZE. CES.com. And we're going to insist that you go back to your PR people and say, send them another box full of goodies, and we'll give them out to our audience when they participate on the show, because there's so many useful things. It's really amazing.
Yeah, we'll be happy to.
It's our pleasure. Thanks, Matt, for spending a few minutes with us, and keep making good stuff. You probably by next year you'll have 800 excited.
We hope so, yeah.
I love it. NiteIze.com. I'm Dave Graveline. IntoTomorrow.com. See the video of this interview with Matt, all of our other radio interviews, and of course the highlight video, behind the scenes goodies, the 360. You can walk around our broadcast booth with us, all sorts of fun stuff. All at IntoTomorrow.com. We're back with more from Las Vegas and CES 2016 on the Advanced Media Network.